I invite you to expand even more the capacity of your heart. By placing your hand over your heart. This is this beautiful place of Tiferet. Where chesed, where total and absolute loving kindness, and gvura, and strength, boundaries, containment come together. This is the place where Kedusha has the capacity to live. The place where Ahava and Yira'ah, love and awe, meet. Place where you have the capacity to feel your lungs expanding and contracting, whilst at the same time feeling your heart beating. That breath of life that Hashem is breathing into you in every moment. And pumping that life into every cell of your body. This is love. You are loved. You are loved. You are loving. So I invite you to take that capacity of your heart and expand it to hold everyone in this room. Everyone who's joining us via Zoom. And everyone who will be watching in the future through the recording. And I say future because it's a word of convenience, but really we know that in the world of the heart, of the soul, there's only now. So we are all together now. And there's only here. So we are all together here. And I want you to imagine that there are threads of light, of love, of connection coming out from your heart and wrapping itself around our community over and over and over again. The way threads wrap around a basket, binding us together. And in the realm of consciousness, if you will it is so. And in the world of the physical, what you will in your consciousness becomes also so. So now that we are bound together as a community, I'm going to take us back in time to the time of Lech Lecha, when Avraham Avinu first heard the call. So imagine there you are in Or Kasdim, and allow Avraham's story to be your story for a few moments. And imagine that in your hand you have a hammer. And despite your fear of your father, you have more awe of the divine. And so you smash one idol after the other, because the light of truth, the light of the divine burns bright in you. And the shield of Hashem is surrounding you. And you know that everything will be okay. So go ahead, smash all those idols. the idols that tell you to be scared, the idols that tell you that might makes right, the idols of fear, of anger, of hatred. And see yourself facing up to the king of the world, to Nimrod. Having the courage to speak truth to power. Because you have the light of the divine in you, the shield of the divine all around you. And see yourself being thrown into a fiery furnace. And you can see the fire all around you. But the fire for the divine that burns in your heart and the shield of the divine that surrounds you is an even greater light. So you can see yourself walking out of that furnace, clean, clear, and with a clear sense of purpose. And hear God's voice telling you, Lech lecha, mi'artzecha, u'mimoladetcha, u'mibeit avicha. And see yourself packing up all of your things and gathering all of your animals and all of the people who are bound to you and all of the people you've inspired. And feel yourself making that walk from Or Kasdim through the hot desert, step after step. With the light of the divine burning in your heart and the shield of the Holy One protecting you. And see yourself coming into the land and hearing the voice of God inviting you to look up. So look up and see the stars, more numerous than you can count. And feel the wonder of that promise that one day your seed will be even more numerous than the stars of the heavens. And allow yourself to rejoice in that dream, because the faith in your heart burns so bright, you know that somehow it's going to happen. Even though your wife doesn't have a womb, even though you're 75 years old, God made you a promise. And God's promises are forever. And see yourself in your tent, welcoming people into your home, teaching them about the one God, creator of everything and everyone. And see their hearts open before you. And see a community gathering around you. And feel yourself aging even more, still not knowing how you're going to fulfill that promise. Until 3 angels come your way And they tell you that a year from now, your wife, Sarah, will bear a son. And see that year passing with the wonder of her growing womb at the ripe old age of 99. You don't need to believe in miracles anymore. You are miracles. And feel the laughter bubbling up inside of you as you hold Yitzchak up into the air on the day of his Brit Milah. Feel the song rising in you and the smile coming upon your face. And now allow your consciousness to enter the world of Yitzchak. Yitzchak, who rose up to Har HaMoriah with his father, with the faith of the divine and the light of the divine burning in his heart, and the shield of the divine that he inherited from his father surrounding you. And see yourself climbing up that mountain, and volunteering yourself to be bound and willing to give up your life to the Holy One, but not having to. That's not your destiny. Your destiny is to dedicate yourself to the land of Israel. So you come down from that mountain and you dig wells of water, wells of Torah, deep relationship. And you too have been promised that your children will be more numerous than grains of sand. And feel yourself and your wife Rivka together, both of you bound as one soul, beseeching the divine for that prophecy to be fulfilled through you. And lo and behold, there are twins. Those twins don't come easily, and you can feel that battle in your home. And yet you give your blessing to your son, Yaakov. So now allow your consciousness to be with the consciousness of Yaakov. Who's so deeply committed to the Brit that he's willing to risk his life to inherit covenant that Hashem made to Abraham, his grandfather, to Yaakov, and to Yitzchak, your father. And feel yourself running to the house of Lavan and having to leave your home, just like your grandfather Abraham did. Lech lecha mi'artzecha u'mibeit avicha. And you come to the house of Lavan, to this place of galut, of confusion. But there you bind yourself to the souls of two holy sisters. And your souls are as one. And from one, you create a tribe. And feel that tribe coming back with you to the land of Israel. And you know that you have Abraham here in our circle with us. and Sarah here in our circle with us. Yitzchak and Rivka are also in the circle with us. And Yaakov and Rachel and Leah and their 12 sons and their daughter Dinah are in the circle with us. And unfortunately, we can feel all of this energy on the one hand being spread in a beautiful way between all of the sons, but also shattered in a way. So follow them down to Egypt, to the lowest, darkest place. But don't forget to take with you the light of the divine that burns inside of you, and the shield of Abraham that you've inherited surrounding you. And feel the hundreds of years of slavery, of the beating, of the words, of the ugliness, of the destruction. But don't allow it to stamp out that light that burns inside of you, and the shield of Abraham that surrounds you. And watch all of God's miracles raining down upon the Egyptians. Water turning to blood, and frogs, and boils, and pestilence, and all of it. And as if it were possible in a place of total darkness, feel absolute choshech descend on Egypt. But you yourself are not stuck in choshech, because you have the light of the divine in you, and the shield of Abraham around you. Your light is clear. Your purpose is clear. So feel yourself gathering wealth and strength and matzah and everything you have, and dancing your way out of Egypt. And dancing your way through the sea. And dancing with Miriam and her tambourines. And rejoicing in the miracles that Hashem promised to Abraham that he would give you. Because Hashem's promises are forever. And you are the manifestation of that promise as you wander through the desert for 40 years. Led by the inspiration and the Torah of Moshe Rabbeinu. Led by fire and clouds of glory and the Mishkan. And miraculous water and miraculous food everywhere you go. And feel yourself at the precipice of the land of Israel. Yehoshua ben Nun standing before you, preparing you to come into the land that Hashem promised your forefathers. He didn't promise it would be easy. And feel yourself making your way into the land and coming home. Coming home to your birthright. Find your way to your plot of land, to your Yosha in the land of Israel. Place your hands upon the earth. Breathe in the smell of the soil. Feel the energy of this holy place seeping into your feet, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips. See the holiness of the land rising up your torso and filling your heart with its light, with its love. With that sense of relaxation when you can let go because you know you're home. Feel the holiness of the land coming through your shoulders to your arms, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Filling your neck and your head. And inspiring your eyes to see this land, this world, with an Ayin Tovah, so that all you see is the goodness of the land. You are the tikkun, the fixing of the sin of the spies. See the milk dripping from the figs, honey dripping from the dates. The nourishment of the rain falling upon your head and into your soil. And see your soil softening and ripening and opening. And plant in that soil an olive tree. Have in your mind a vision that you're planting that olive tree for your great, great, great grandchildren who will one day come back to this land after the exile that Moshe promised would be over. Because Hashem's promises are forever. So dig a hole into the ground for your tree. Place it gently into the soil. Pat the soil around it. Bless the tree. Guard it. Watch it taking root. Really go into detail on this one. See the roots of that tree seeping deep into the soil. Stretching out for miles and miles stretching down all the way to the center of the earth. See that tree growing strong and great and big. And know that now it's time to fulfill part of Moshe's prophecy for our people. That it's time for us to wander the earth. So kiss your tree goodbye. Put a sack on your back. And begin your wanderings. You can travel to Europe, to Asia, Middle East, Africa, the Americas, Australia, Tahiti. One step after the other. Allow your imagination to take you from one corner of the earth to the other. Because Hashem promised that it would be so. And Hashem's promises are forever. But not all who wander are lost. Gather up sparks of light in every place that you visit. And add that spark to the sack you have on your back. One spark after the other. Gather them up. Feel the passage of time. 100 years. 200. 3. 4. 5. Keep wandering. The Jews were never meant to rest. 6. 7. 800 years. 900. 1,000 years. 1,100. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. And you can feel that dream reawakening in you that maybe it's time to come home. Feel that dream of all of those sparks of light tickling your heart and your mind. Even more wonder, even more visions. 19. That dream feels so possibly a reality. So from whatever corner of the world you are, gather up your satchel filled with sparks of light and start making your way home. It's always been your home. But hopefully now you're older wiser. Your capacity for love and understanding has grown. And see yourself coming back into the land. Finding your way to that plot of land that belonged to the great, 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 great ancestor who came before you. Come back to that olive tree. It's no longer a sapling. It's now twisted and full of nuts. It's become old and wise and rich with fruit. And its branches have extended far enough that you can sit in its shade and feel within yourself roots making their way down into the ground again. Because Hashem's promises are forever. And you are the fulfillment of that promise. And for these many thousands of years, you've carried the light of the divine in your heart and had Abraham's shield surrounding you. And we need that light and that shield more than ever right now. So imagine that this dark space that we're sitting in is the dark, dank tunnel, the underworld, where our holy brothers and sisters have been taken. And bring the light in your heart, the shield of Abraham with you. And see that light exploding out of your heart. And see that shield stretching beyond you to hold all of them. They are part of Hashem's promise. And Hashem's promises are forever. One of Hashem's promises is that you are made in His image. You are a physical manifestation of His divine name. But sometimes we forget. So we're going to allow ourselves to remember as we picture ourselves being in the dark tunnel with the captives. I invite you to feel the Yod of Hashem's name in all of its radiance, in all of its love, coming in through the crown of your head and filling your head with its light, with its love, with its healing. And there's so much more than your head can handle, so allow all of that light to seep out of your face and to shine its light upon everyone in our community, and of course, upon all of the hostages. And if your face is full of light, you might as well bring a smile to it too. Don't allow the fear of the dark place to enter your heart. The Yanuka says that do everything in your power not to allow fear to enter you. It is our job in this war to be the simcha and to be channels of light and love. So smile, even if you have to fake it. And love them with that light that's in your heart that's been carrying our people for thousands of years. Now feel the hay of Hashem's name coming in through the crown of your head and past your neck. And the top of the hay meets you between the shoulders, and the legs of the hay fill your arms with divine radiant light all the way to the tips of your fingers. But of course, it's more light than your shoulders and arms can hold. So I invite you to lift up your hands, have them face out in front of you. Towards the hostages we can imagine are sitting in our midst. And allow the light to shine out of your palms and onto them. So along with the face, it's me'ol panim, it's filled with light. Your palms are now emanating so much light. And the vav of Hashem's name comes in through your head and slips right into its rightful home, your spine. And your spine becomes like a halogen light bulb, emitting an insane amount of light, of healing, of love, of emunah and bitachon. And that light shines out of your heart onto everyone who needs it, to all of the hostages and everyone in our community. So your face is shining, your hands are shining, your heart is shining. And keep them shining as you imagine the hay of Hashem's name coming in through the top of your head and past your torso. And that last hay, the top of that last hay meets you between the hips. And its legs fill your legs all the way to the tips of your toes with the light of malchut, of kingship, of royalty, of our rightful existence in this land. And there's more light than your legs can hold. So feel out of the tips of your toes, even more light seeping across the floor towards the hostages who sit in our midst. And here you are, a full manifestation of divine light. Yud, Hey, and Vav, Hey. And along with the light that's shining from your face, your heart, your hands, and your feet, this is the moment now for you to whisper words of blessing to the hostages who sit in our midst. Do that now. And I invite you to lift up your hands so that they're above all of the heads of the hostages. And we're going to bless them with Birkat Kohanim, because we are meant to be priests for the entire world. We can all say this together. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Now I invite you very, very slowly and so tenderly and sweetly, as if you were holding baby Zusha, to bring your hands back to your heart. And to hold your heart and yourself with the same level of healing and love that you've offered to the rest of us. Because you need it too. So please love yourself as only you know how. And also you can take a mental photograph of this moment. Remember this moment. Remember this feeling. It is always here for you to remind you of the light that burns inside of you and of the shield that is always surrounding you. Slowly, slowly, we're going to make our way back into our bodies, wiggling our fingers and our toes, and slowly bat our eyes